Today's reading is Echidna, an entry from the Monster Encyclopedia book series. A type of lamia having the upper body of a woman with bluish skin and the lower body of a snake. Their magical powers amongst the highest of all monsters. There is a sharp contrast between them and other lamia family monsters. There are differences in personality depending upon the individual in question, but what they all have in common is that they are all extremely lustful. Very few actually exist, and in most cases they dwell deep within dangerous dungeons, so they hardly ever appear before humans in their true form. The reason they live deep within dungeons is because only superior men can make it there, and they, the Echidna, want to have their babies. The dungeons they dwell in are laden with treasures for luring humans, consisting of mysterious potions and the best magical items. They sometimes change into human form using their great magical power. They then spread information about the treasure in the dungeon among humans or request the aid of monster slayers themselves in order to lure superior adventurers to their love dungeon. After getting past the numerous traps and repelling monsters, once an adventurer reaches the deepest part of the dungeon, he'll find them waiting for him as the final barrier and reward for clearing the dungeon. Unable to hide their arousal upon finding the one who will become their husband, they'll coil around the body of their beloved man with their snake body, bind him, and go straight for sex. As if to let the man savor their entire body and force him to remember it, they will use their entire body, including their tits, mouth, and vagina, etc. They give the man a devilish pleasure that is equal to a succubus and take him prisoner. Because it is instinctual for them to accept superior humans as husbands, they can even sense the existence of humans who will eventually become heroes. It is said that among the Echidnas, there are some who raise their own men with their own hands before they even show the slightest hint of potential as heroes, supporting them from the side, helping them grow, and then in the future mating with them, drowning them in pleasure, and taking them prisoner. Thus, the important female supporters of heroes in stories have actually always been echidnas, and it seems that in most cases, the heroes who supposedly disappeared and went off somewhere after saving people are actually off somewhere alone with an echidna continuing to have sex and babies. Out of all the monsters, they have an extremely peculiar nature. Of all the children they ever give birth to in their entire lives, only the first is an echidna, the same as her mother. The children born after that are all varied in race, appearance, and nature, and including new races, and new types of monsters that have never been seen before are also born. Thus they are called the mother of monsters. The reason they seek superior men is to birth even more powerful and new monsters. After getting a husband and charming him, they devote themselves to baby making and get pregnant with their husband's children in order to fulfill their desire to give birth to the greatest monsters. Eventually, they will gently pat their hugely swollen stomach with an expression like a holy mother full of benevolence, and they'll think to themselves, "My wonderful child, born from my great husband's most delicious semen, how lustful you will be, and how lascivious in appearance. How will you tempt men, and how wild will you go with pleasure?" When a mother of a monster thinks about her children to be born, she naturally smiles.